And so we're back here at the National Stadium in the capital of Oceania's mad-loving football nation, Solomon Islands. A humid evening with a cool breeze from the ocean infiltrating through this whole stadium. It's a beautiful evening for football, and much to everyone present today, an anticipated football fixture, especially having the Australia national under-17 team, the Subway Joeys, here to play the Solomon Islands national under-19 team. I'm Alex Waimora to keep you updated with all the latest action on the field, and joining me to give us some in-depth perspective on the game is Solomon Islands, a former international, also regarded as a football icon here in the Solomon Islands, Henry Fa'arodo Jr., or as we all in the Solomon Islands know him, Jufa. Good evening to you, Jufa, and the Solomon Islands and everyone watching online.
Hey, thank you very much, Alex. Wow, what a wonderful intro that. But yeah, no, thank you for having me again. Yes, a beautiful day here today. A bit of showers, but then it cleared out. A perfect day for football as well. Not too hot, not too cold. But yeah, no, I think it's going to be exciting, and looking forward to what's in front for us today as well.
Yes, and as you can see earlier on, we were here probably an hour before the game to see everything and feel everything. I was traveling up through the traffic, a little bit of traffic in the center of Honiara, but that doesn't take away the spirit and determination of a lot of the young football fans here today, Jufa, as I will call you throughout the game today, Jufa. For those of you watching, you might be thinking, what's Jufa? It's the name that Henry Fa'arodo Jr. is well known in the Solomon Islands. Jufa, your thoughts on the young football fans coming into the stadium today?
Oh, yeah, no, thank you. For me, I think this is a wonderful opportunity for the young kids in the islands at the moment to come and see another bunch of young boys as well. You know, the Joeys under-17s and our under-19s, they're still young in the youth level. So I think it's a wonderful opportunity to come and see, witness, an international game, a fixture. And I think for me, it's a wonderful opportunity for these kids to come out tonight and, have a look and, maybe build on it as well, as we watch this game.
And for many watching online as well, whether you're in the Solomon Islands or you're abroad, especially in Australia as well, good evening to you. Local time is 6 minutes to 6 p.m. And obviously a lot of the offices are already closed, so we expect to have a little bit of a late attendance from many. But so far, the grandstand on the opposite of where we are sitting is already looking really good with supporters, colourful supporters tonight. Well, it is the Australia Subway Joeys. They are the ones with the attention on them tonight, especially coming from Australia. For you, Jufa, I know you just came back from New Zealand as well. How's adapting back to your homeland been so far for you?
Oh yeah, no, I think for me, I struggled a little bit the first week with the temperature, with the conditions. But yeah, I think I got used to it after a week. But yeah, I think like you said before, I think the humidity is a big factor here today, ever since I got here as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Subway Joey's gonna manage that as well. But having said that, it's cooled down as well, so it'll be a good match.
Okay, now let's look into both teams. Obviously, Solomon Islands coming in with a, I would say, an experienced team from a just previous tournament that they've been part of. Jufa, if you can pick out Australia, just a couple of players you think we probably have to watch in today's fixture.
I've been looking at the teams and stuff. There's a couple of, majority of them have played within the A-League academies and even the A-League first teams and stuff. But there's a few names that kind of stands out for me. Anthony Didulika, number 9. I'm sure there's a Didulika I know from when I was in Australia. I don't know if it's that's a dad and stuff. Joey Didulika, his name is. He used to be part of the Players Football Association people as well. So yeah, that name kind of stands out for me. Also, you got the Akon. He plays with West Sydney Wanderers as well. And it's a big Sydney club as well. So those two. You have in goals. You have Jai Ajanovic. he plays for Central Coast, and yeah, he'll be one of the talents that come in through the ranks as well. Yeah.
And a very steady, fast team here from Australia. Well, from the Solomon Islands, we have I would say, a very mixture of lineup here with talent, of skill, and probably constructive performance as well. I'm looking towards the number 10 for Solomon Islands, Paul Francis, who will be captaining tonight as well. He is a fantastic player, and surely he would want to perform to his best, especially in front of the local supporters here tonight. And well, both teams are now about to make their way out. The coach, who used to be your teammate,
Yes.
former national player Batram Suri, he's leading the team here. Well, Australia under the experience.
Yes, with the Australian one here, you got the Brad Maloney, and I remember I think I used to play against him as well in the old National League. So he'll be taking the helm for the Joeys today. So yeah, it's good to see one of the former players in the Australian football to take up the coaching role as well.
Well, a fantastic contrast of colours here with the symbolic yellow from Solomon Islands, and well, many of you might have noticed Australia in their away uniform tonight. And what a night too far to watch football here in the capital.
Mate, that is, like you said, it's one of the most, be part of this. It's so good to see the stadium. For me, I think it's the first time I've been here as well, Alex. So it's so good to see the, first hand of what I've been seeing over the Pacific Games.
And obviously we'll be going for the national anthems for both teams. And so the respect is being shown here by the players standing up, both the ones in the field and also on the bench.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's stand for the national anthem of Australia.
Now the national anthem of Australia. For Australia, and a good standing ovation by the local supporters. I will join the Solomon Islands for their national anthem
of Solomon Islands.
There you have it, the national anthem of Solomon Islands, who in tonight's match is the home team. Well, this friendly match, it's the under-20s, so taking into consideration The Australian side is the under-17, and the Solomon side is
Alright, ladies
the
and gentlemen,
under-19 team. Well, this match is made possible thanks to PacificAus Sports Football Australia and the Solomon Islands Football Federation. So an opportunity to watch, I would say, some of Oceania's best footballers.
number 8,
And while Australia might be more in the Asia scene in terms of football, they have a strong ties to Pacific, having been one of the Pacific powerhouses before moving over to Asia. So it's a match to behold. And as you can see from over here in the stadium, everyone is anticipating a good match here. And perhaps Jufa for Solomon Islands, it's a good time for the youngsters to test themselves against a more, I would say, a very constructive, well-drilled Subway Joey side.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's a wonderful opportunity for the young Solomon boys to test themselves where they're at the moment. You know, they've just been back from the under-19s qualifiers. But again, yeah, this is a whole new game. You know, the level's going to be different, and it's a wonderful opportunity to see where they're at the moment. I think for Coach Batram, it'll be good to see as well where they are as well in terms of, you know, the team structure and all the stuff that comes with it as well.
Well, based on what you've just said, I know the coaching staff for Solomon Islands, both Batram Suri and his assistant Franco Nea, well, they are well-renowned former footballers. Franco Nea played in the national beach soccer team as well, and was part of the most successful Corsa club team here in the Solomon Islands. And like you've mentioned, the Australian coach is your former, well, we played against him actually in the Australian League as well. So in terms of that experience so far, you've played in the A-League. So what is your general observation of thoughts on the Australian setup? How would you expect these boys to perform in this game?
Thanks. I think for me, I would go Australia will be a much structured team. They'll come out very structured. It'll be good to see the first 5-10 minutes. They're just going to try and see how, you know, the Solomons might play and stuff. But for me, I feel that the Subway Joeys are going to be a structured team as well, and it'll be good to see, you know, how the Solomon Island starting 11 would deal with that as well. And yeah.
Okay, so the referee tonight is Timothy New from the Solomon Islands. Assistant referee number 1, Bernard Mutukera. And the referee assessor, Reggie Ilima, is here as well. So he'll be assessing the game, and as well as the other assistant on the other side. But it's kickoff here, and beautiful weather here for Solomon Islands. They are now in position deep inside their own half. Playing from the back line. Australia already capitalized on the error here in the 18-yard box. Trying to just flip the ball through. Call for a penalty. Another opportunity. Fresh shot coming up. Sailing over the bar. And Jufa already. Australia's on the leading step here.
Yeah, no, I think as you can see from the get-go, I think they're pressing quite high, Australia, you know, especially in possession for some rounds. So we'll see how long they're going to do that for as well. That'll be the key thing as well. But yeah, early days, and yeah, as you can see.
Now Australia again one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Can he slot it in? No. And actually an offside call here from the referee. Rightly so. Solomon Islands again on the receiving end of the attack here. From the back they go to Junior Albert. Tries to go past one. Managed to do so. Couldn't do it. The captain here now, the number 10, Paul Francis, couldn't keep the ball. Australia again. Probably trying their luck here, going for another shot, blocked. And they are mounting attack after attack. The building back play just inside the Solomon Islands half. Collecting ball from the back, really tall player here. The number 14, Faizo Kasumnovic. Well, some of these names you can hear in Europe, so it's brilliant to have them here. Well, Solomon Islands now on the halfway line. Building up play, goes to one, back to the number 10, Paul Francis to Junior Albert, building a play from the far side, skill and pace inbuilt between here, the number 9. Dangerous player here, Solomon tried to push for an opportunity here, blocked. Again, they with the ball inside the Australian half. loses the ball easily is the number 2, John Dioko, who could have done better. And Australia now on the capital. Well, they are capitalizing on Solomon Islands' era to mount up attack here. Now it's their time to keep the possession of the ball deep inside their own half, just inside the 18-yard box. The goalkeeper calls out for his player to bring the ball up. Solomon Islands looking more constructive here. And Australia again build a play. Come just outside the center circle. Solomon Islands again pick up play. 4 against 3, and earlier shot here by the deadly man number 9 here. He's going to be a bit handy for the Australian side. Jimson Abana and Jufa. You know, Abana is a well-known name here in the Solomon Islands. A lot of Abana played football here, so probably one of the relatives of the well-known Abanas. But at least now the Subway Joe is on counter-attack deep inside the Solomon Islands half. Good support from the local crowd here. Solomon Islands crowd, they love football, whether you're on their side or against them. As long as you play good football, that's it. Breaking from the far side, Akon tries to find the pinpoint pass. Yeah, again, Australia for another shot here. Now goalkeeper done well. Jufa, both teams trying to test themselves here.
Yeah, and I think with the Australians, I think on the ball, they try to keep possession as much, and I think they're stretching the Solomons a little bit as well from side to side, and then trying to penetrate in between as well. So I think that's one thing the Solomons has to be wary of as well.
Now Australia again builds a play in the attacking mid. This number 23, Akon, is it the surname here? Not the Akon in the superstar music world. It is Akon in the football world, I would say. And Australia now deep inside the Solomon Islands half. On the far side. Oh, that's a weird throw. I think it's a mistake by him. So Solomon Islands now on the trying to break free from the, I would say, dense attack from the Australian side. Very constructive in their performance so far. Solomon Islands probably needs to settle down and move the ball much faster. But in terms of the start, both teams are trying to test themselves out here and see. Well, Solomon Islands on the far side, tries to go in the middle, couldn't do so. Again, they collect play, and it's Paul Francis here, the captain, tries to go past one, couldn't do so. Australia again, through Akon, the number 23. A brilliant turn here by the number 8 for Australia, Max, and just caught off the ball by the Solomon Islands player. And you would expect a lot of those counter and short, sharp play from Australia. Too far.
Yes, no, I think that's the thing about Australia as well, especially the 2 in the midfield there. They're quite quick on the ball as well, and they do things like quite quickly as well, especially in the transition as well. So Solomon has to be very careful, especially out of possession as well.
Now, Solomon Islands again on the defending side. A foul against Australia. The number 3 for Australia, very tall player here. It's Zaid Kasabi, and plays for Melbourne Victory in the A-League.
Yes,
probably in their youth
in
setup.
the youth setup. Yep.
So much experience here from the Australian side here, Junior. Too far.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, looking at the team list, there's a couple of players like we mentioned before playing in the A-League clubs and stuff. So in terms of quality, there'll be some quality there.
Well, Solomon Islands on the far side, trying to get the ball in here. Junior Albert, it's one, he's a futsal player, so obviously gonna be quick with his feet. But again, Australia losing the ball. Back to Solomon Islands. Solomon Islands building up play in the middle. More commanding for them now, trying to patch up the passes together. Australia slowly breaching out of their zone. And that's what happens when you put good pressure, you lose the ball. And Australia again build up play from the, I would say, in the middle fucking third. Well, they got the space here to move the ball around. And Solomon Islands is just sliding over, trying to, and that's what happened. But good capitalize on the ball here from Junior Albert. Far outside, Solomon Islands building play outside the 18-yard box. Going for the first time one here, but a good defense here by Australia. Very well balance the defense here. And they are again on the counter-attack. Another foul against Solomon Islands. It's the same player again. Needs to be careful here. In terms of technical side of the game, Jufar, you would expect that to come from Australia, trying to get as much foul and putting the set pieces. What should we expect from that part of the game from Australia?
Oh no, definitely. I think they're a smart team. I reckon. They will try as much as possible to get fouls in. They'll try and get as much as possible to cause form errors just like now.
And Australia again, always looking to find that little space and capitalize on it. Solomon Islands need to be wary of this and need to settle down on their game. But it's good to see the qualities of these players. It's just magnificent to see youth teams like this coming into the country here. And so it shows their quality. Now Alex Bolton from Pet Glory is about to take the corner here for Australia. Sends it in the middle. Good ball there, good delivery, but I think that's an offside call. And the referee got it right on this occasion. It's Solomon Islands here, still 0-0 with Australia. And again, just the technical part of the game. Always have the ball on the right spot when you're about to restart game. And this is good discipline for the young players. Jufar, as an experienced player, a former captain of Solomon Islands, these little things will add value to the players.
Oh yeah, no, exactly, Alex. I agree with that. One, this kind of game, but again at this level as well, international level, you have to make the most of it. The experience, you learn from it. Not just coming out just to play, but taking something of it. At the end of the day, knowing that what, this is what I'm going to get off from today as well.
Well, Solomon Islands again trying to go out of their own half, but a good defensive block here by Max Anastasio from Australia. Now Solomon Islands again trying to capitalize on their far side winger. He's really fast and playing really well. This Beza Zopoa, good player here. Probably lacking in the height side of his game, but make up for it in terms of speed and perhaps skills as well. We'll have to see later today. Junior Albert tries to turn. Australia again building up play deep inside their own half. It's 4 Solomon Islands against 1 Australia player. He beats almost 2. Couldn't connect well his pass. And Australia again gets the ball back in their own half. Goalkeeper to start play, Jay Atanovec. Back to his defenders, slowly and composed. That's what we expect from Australia. They're building a play from the back. Faizo Kasumovec finds his midfielder here. Oh, good ball here. Trying to find Daniel Martina. He's on the 18-yard box, playing out far, but not a good ball from him. Perhaps trying to find Anthony Didulika. That's a player you said you must have played with his dad or someone back. The number 9 is quite very, I would say, fragile player. So in terms of attack, he could be anywhere and you wouldn't know. So Solomon Islands defense need to watch this player. He's very skillful as well and probably taller than the defenders are here as well. Good 10 out so far, Jufar. Good 10 out. The crowd here is loving it as we're going 10 minutes into the game. Still 0-0 if you're just tuning in, wherever you are. In the Solomon Islands, abroad in Australia. Solomon Islands 0, Australia 0. But it's Australia now with the counter-attack movement here. Oh, brilliant ball by the number 9. Number 19 in the box. Tries to go past one, couldn't do so. Goes back to Jay Maltz. Finds the number 9 again. He's been tripped and that's a foul. Well, probably from the Solomon Islands perspective, a little too light. But then we've already mentioned, Jufar, every opportunity. They're a smart team here and they are taking everything very positive. So again, well done for Australia.
Yeah, no, exactly. They just, they're looking for those opportunities, and that's a great set of play as well from here. They go from the central area, they go out wide. That runner on the wide is so dangerous at the moment, and then they just come back in, and then they have so much gaps and space in between. So I think for the Solomon side, they have to be careful when they're getting stretched, that they don't have so much room in the middle where at the moment, for me, Diduluka is probably at the moment probably man of the match at the moment. If he keeps going like that, mate, he's going to score goals as well.
Well, now, speaking of him, he's on the free kick here. Getting himself ready. Well, the number 8, Max Anastasio, is also here. So, 2 very good free kick takers. Will it be Anthony or will it be Max? And, well, the local fans are loving it so far. It's good to see a lot of vibrant supporters. Well, a free kick here. We'll have to see what the ref is giving. Is it a direct free kick or an indirect free kick? It's a direct free kick here, and it's going to be the number 9 going over, sailing over the bar. But that's a scare for Solomon Islands, Jufa.
Oh, of course, yeah. I think any fouls within the 18-yard box against us or the Solomon Islands, it has to be careful. You know, I mean, set piece wise, you know, a lot of goals come from set pieces as well, so they have to be very careful.
Australia again, first time here from Max. Probably thinking, hey, I didn't have the free kick, so I might as well have this one here. But just not on target.
Now he does get himself into good positions at number 6 at Max. And I think that's the key as well. You know, getting into that very dangerous position does cause problems for the Solomons.
Well, good fit here from the Solomon Islands futsal player, but probably not to the liking of the other supporters. Good turnout, people coming in, and much of this, majority of these supporters are very young football fans. Well, Solomon Islands again now, trying to find their number 9. Racing is equally up to the task is the Australian young defender who's always marking him equally on height, the number 3, Zaid Kisabi. And he will definitely give the number 9, Jimson Abana, a run for his money tonight. If he's going to score, he's definitely needing an extra effort to beat this player. Solomon Islands deep inside the Australian half. Good interchange by Solomon Islands. Oh, that's an offside call here. Good officiating so far by the referees. And Australia to restart play deep inside the own half. Faizo tries to find his wingman here. Liam Armstrong all the way. Tries to find Alex Bolton. Couldn't do so. Solomon Islands again. Pick up play straight in the middle here. Collected by Christopher Samo. Tries to find the number 11 here. We haven't seen him on the ball so far, but he's a brilliant player. James Liana has been excellent in their Oceania tournament. A lot of fans have been calling his name for the national call-up. Well, it's the 19, Daniel Martina, who has been with the ball more often. I think the only player that has had more possession than him is the number 9, who Jufa mentioned rightly is so far the man of the match. But now Solomon Islands again. From their goalkeeper at the back, build up play. Not a good ball by the defender now. Comes back to Martin here. Daniel Martina. Oh, shot! Wow! Out of nothing, they sprang up something amazing here. Well, the goalkeeper, Gideon Abidan, has to be on alert, and he did well. Solomon Islands again from the goalkeeper. A long one here over the halfway. Collects it from the far side is the number 7 here. Very skillful, Besa Zopoa. Again, taking back. It's a foul against him. So Solomon Islands at the moment trying to bank their play on the number 6 and 7. If you look on the far side, they are the shortest players in the team, but they are the ones that have been instrumental so far. And Solomon Islands now with a free kick inside the Australian half. Going for the long one here. And again, Australia, number 9, up to Akon. On the far side, probably too much Solomon Islands defenders by that. But he decides to go for his skill here. And equally up to the task is the number 3 for Solomon Islands, Teddy Osifela. So, your thoughts so far on the match, Jufa?
For me, I think with the Solomons, I think they need to keep the ball a bit more. But I think trying to break those first line of defense. I think at the moment we're struggling to break that first line, and we're trying to go forward. And I would like to see that Jimson to be involved a bit more as well. I think watching him play in the last tournament, I think he kind of a standout for me with the number 11, with Leana. but I need them players to be involved. They need to get on the ball.
And rightfully so, as we've mentioned, it's more the number 6 and 7 we've been seeing much on the ball, but they are not equally tall as compared to the number 9 and 11. So perhaps Solomon Islands need to channel their play through these two players. But for Australia, they've been consistent, I would say, and just absorbing the attack. Now they're on the attack again. And Solomon Islands again winning the ball. Jameson Abana finds Junior Albert for the first time up to the number 7. Besa Zopoa goes for the long one here. Not a good ball. And disappointment from the crowd as well. And also from his coach, Batram Shuri, pointing out that probably better to send the ball inside the box, and hopefully the number 9, Jimson Abana, would arrive there. Well, there's someone down at the moment under halfway. But looking at the match so far, it's Solomon Islands with the more attacks coming in. So I think Australia probably absorbing, like you said, reading the game, and we might see them change a little bit in their approach. But what have you seen so far?
I think for me, I think the Solomons are starting. I feel like they're starting to get into the game now. And like you said before, I think most of the play are going through that Solomons left side. And I'm sure the Australians are going to start and identify that at the moment. In terms of Australia, I think their pressing is quite good at the moment, because then when they press, the Solomon Islands keep giving away possessions quite cheaply, and I feel that would be the thing that will hurt Solomons a lot, giving the ball away a bit too cheaply.
Especially if you give it in front of your own 18-net box. A player like the number 9, as we've mentioned earlier on, he's very dangerous. Anthony, he's always lurking around the corners, and you give him an opportunity, he'll definitely go for a goal there. But thanks to the partnership between PacificAus Sports Football Australia and the Solomon Islands Football Federation to bring us such game here. And I know a lot of the local fans here are quite blessed to be out and about to watch this game here, and taking into consideration that these are the national team in terms of their youth. So it's a big game. Even though it's a youth game, it's a big game here. And Jufa, someone who you've played through the ranks, what's your thought about the growth of football in terms of the local support here, in terms of the youth games like this?
Oh man, I think it has grown a lot. Growing up, we don't have so much international games in the country as much as this. So I think for us, in terms of football, this is just the start. I hope this is the start of many more international football to come up as well.
Well, now Solomon Islands on the counter-attack. Lena tries to find Jameson Abana. Probably too much weight on the ball, and Australia again settles back in the game. Now, these opportunities, they need to maximize and capitalize on it, Solomon Islands, because during the game, probably when you're tight, you might not have equal opportunities like this. So definitely need to maximize their chances here. But for Australia, again, they will be more constructive. They know how to play the game here, and they are just adjusting to the atmosphere here. We're 20 minutes into the game, and so far the scores are locked 0-0. Can Solomon Islands bring up play? No, they can't. Solomon Islands now will defend. It's number 6, Alex Bolton. Liam Armstrong brings up play. Checks for the number 9. Back to Martina. It's Daniel Martina on the far side. Oh, almost going for a nutmeg there. He wins a corner deep inside the Solomon Islands half. So an interesting corner here, Jufa.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think for Australia this is good. For Solomons, not so good. I think giving our set pieces is something I'm sure Coach Buttram doesn't want the players to do. But yeah, set pieces is going to be key. As you can see, they've got a short corner here.
Australia straight in the 18-yard box. Oh, sailing over the bar. And probably good for Gideon Abidan, but not good for Australia. And another opportunity gone waste. And Solomon Islands again. Now they set up for a long clearance here by the goalkeeper. Try to get the ball past the halfway line perhaps. And well executed. Can they collect the ball here? I think that's a foul again against Solomon Islands already. They are in the mid of the game. They're getting into the game, but can they be constructive? Can they keep their composure? As we mentioned, this Australian side, the Subway Joeys, they are a smart side, so they'll be looking to capitalize on every opportunity here. Another good ball here from Daniel Martina, and Solomon Islands again. Clearance there, but not good, as Australia again capitalize. They on a counter-attack deep inside the Solomon Islands half. Back they go again through Faiza Kasumovic. All the way to Zaid Kasabi. Tries to find Anthony. But now Solomon Islands again trying to test Jimson Abana. He's still chasing. Big clearance here for the Australian goalkeeper. Solomon Islands, Junior Albert. Rather, it's a power for the long one here! Over the bar! And to the liking of the local supporters, Jufa, some of them were hoping it went in.
Yes, no, exactly, eh? It was just looping a bit too over. But you can tell what that number 7 was trying to do, eh? You see the keeper comes out after the clearance. And yeah, why not? Try something, for luck as well. So, but that's probably one of the best opportunities for the Solomons.
Now, Solomon Islands again to Jimson Abana. Tries to go past one, decides to turn, goes back and plays it back to his player. Not a good ball. Now Australia on the counter-attack. Drew Akon on the far side. Can you find his play? Yes, managed to do so. It's Max here, taken out. And that's the same particular area that Solomon Islands been committing the fouls. It says something about the midfield here. Australia is quite dominating in the midfield with the transition here. So Solomon Islands perhaps need to organize themselves. Jufa, what would be a solution so far for Solomon Islands in terms of keeping Australia here in the middle?
I think that for me, I feel that transition for Solomon Islands from the attacking to defending has to be a bit quicker. Get players back quicker, probably compact them more midfield quicker instead of giving more time and space for the Australian midfielders. I think that's where it's going to kill us a lot.
Well, you can see they are picking up all the balls, the loose balls here, and it's about time that Solomon Islands need to get themselves organized, but they have a throw inside their own half, building up play, and the number 6 and 7 for Solomon Islands, they've been a golden combination so far, penetrating down the left-hand side, and for Solomon Islands, perhaps for Batram Suri, this is the kind of players you need. Can they keep up the performance consistently throughout the game? That's the question he will need to ask, but it's up to the players here to answer. Well, Faizo for Australia finds the number 6 here, his playmate here, Gunn, tries to break in the middle here, couldn't do so, but again, Solomon Islands clearing the ball, Australia back in position, just on the halfway line to Faizo. Kasumovic finds Zaid Sabi in the center circle, brings up play, just past the halfway, decides to turn. Oh, good interception here. It's Jimson Abana. He's got goal sight on him. He decides to check and he's going for a shot here over the bar. Too much power on it. Perhaps there's other options to consider.
Yes, I think you can see Keanu was there as well. He was on the right hand side running, and you have the captain as well, Paul Francis, running through as well. So he's got those two options. But also as well, you can see the desperation that the Australian defenders have as well. They ended up with 4 players at the back. So I think, in terms of, that transition, I think the Australians have that, the quick transition, the mentality to get back as quick as possible. That will be the difference as well for them.
And it's Zaid Kasabi now having picked up an injury just outside the 18-yard box. Rather, it's the center circle, and he's down. So, an opportunity for the coaches to probably give out a few instructions or advice to their players. And you can see early on, Batram Suri was animated, told the young striker, the number 9, Jameson Abana, perhaps should have gone for the earlier through ball. Obviously, when you're running, the defender is facing you, so you have the upper hand of going at the back. So probably that's what Batram Suri has been looking at. But now we have a little bit of break due to the injury. So far, what have you seen from both sides?
I think just to add on what we spoke about before, I think the Solomon Islands are starting to find their feet again. It takes him a bit of time, but I think for Australia, I think, you know, from the get-go, they know what they're trying to do. I think they, in terms of forward, I think they kind of press higher with three that they have, and times they have four going forward as well. So that is something that probably Coach Bartram would have seen it by now and stuff. But for us, I think for the Solomon Islands, it's just that connecting from that midfield block to the number 9 up top, Jimson, and the wide players will be key for us in terms of causing problems for the back four.
Speaking of the Australian attack, the number 4 Gordon Iro is going to have a handy night tonight, trying to keep the likes of Anthony and Max at bay. They are very versatile players for Australia, so he does have a big job at his department. But can he continue the consistency so far? Australia with the restart, driving the ball up. It's the number 14 Fazo trying to find his number 9, but couldn't do so. Still Australia with the ball deep inside their own half. Solomon Islands chasing play here. Fazo, good ball from him to Max. Rather, it's the number 11 Jay Maltz over to the player who was injured early on, Zaid Kasabi. Kasabi tries to keep the ball. Goes back to Fazo. Kasumovic brings up play. Is Kasabi. Tries to find Anthony. Not a good ball from him. Solomon Islands now on the counter-attack. Tries to go through the middle. Perhaps not the right option here. They have 3 players and should have just channeled the game more in the floor. Well, Australia now finding themselves in their own half against a Solomon Islands side that is building up play, getting more confident with the ball. And the referee almost giving a foul here, but decides it's a clean play. And that's going to be a foul. Unintentional by the number 9 for Australia. Anthony has caused a foul here, and Solomon Islands will counter, will take advantage of this to settle the game down. And again, Solomon Islands have been very, very dangerous on using the left-hand side with the number 6 and 7. Speaking of one, here's one, the number 6, Junior Albert, who plays futsal as well. Plays for the national Solomon Islands futsal team, Kurukuru. So much experience for a young player. Solomon Islands building from the back. Trying to find their number 11, couldn't do so. Australia again. Fazo to Kasabi, who picked up an injury but is doing fine so far. Probably needs to have it checked on the halftime. Max loses the ball to Junior Albert. Now the number 7, speaking of him again, Besa Zopoa. Goes to Liana. Tries to go past one, managed to going for a shot here. Blocked. And Australia trying to defend it well. Going to be a corner kick here. Jufa, your thoughts?
Mate, that's a very good move there from Solomons. I think one of the best moves that they have so far. Again, the number 7 is a handful at the moment, and it's going to cause Australia a lot of problems, especially with his, very direct runs. And defenders don't like it when you run directly at them. So the more he does it, it's going to cause them a lot of problems as well.
Well, Solomon Islands with a corner kick. Their first corner kick of the match so far. Good ball coming in, going in for a header here. Good clearance here by the Australian side. And again, Solomon Islands on the counter-attack. Jimson Abana checks, stands. Couldn't do so, pass one. Australia now through Martina. He's bringing up the ball, pass one, still going here. The number 19, Daniel Martina, can he find Anthony? What a shot, what a goal. That's what you come for, to see in a match like this. And wearing the number 9, Jufa, you have to deliver. And my oh my, did he deliver?
Mate, exactly like we talked about, that transition. Solomon Islands nearly scored there. And again, the transition from defending for Australia to attacking, mate, it's so dangerous, so clinical. And like I said, Anthony, for me, like I said, he's pretty much at the moment man of the match. And his runs, if kids are watching out there, as a number 9, that's a great run from a number 9, just in between the 2 centre backs. And what a finish as well, across the body, top finish as well.
And big credit to the number 19, Daniel Martina, who traveled with the ball from his own half, past one of the advancing Solomon Islands right back, and then what a ball to him. But the run, you have to mention the run from the number 9, Anthony, was just brilliant. And now, courtesy of his goal, Australia is leading 1-0. Well, you can tell the humidity tonight. The players from Australia, every little bit of break, they take it as an opportunity to drink a lot of water, which is good for them. As Solomon Islands now trailing, can they get back? 32 minutes into the game so far, and Australia now leading 1-0. So if you're watching in the Solomon Islands, perhaps overseas, perhaps in Australia, Australia leading the Subway Joeys as they are known. So Jufar mentioned earlier on the transition, and my oh my, we just witnessed a goal from a transition. So Solomon Islands need to pick up their mentality if they're going to go and collect another goal, especially from these transitions. Well, Australia now with another free kick. And standing over it is the number 8, Max Anastasio. Is he going to be the one? Ball comes in the 18-yard box. Again, that's the danger man here. He flicks the ball over to Martina. Martina again fakes. Probably tries to just find the middle pocket here. Couldn't do so. And Solomon Islands again with the pressure on them from Australia. It's going to be a handy night here. A handful of attacks from Australia keep on putting the pressure on the Solomon Islands defense. Well, they are looking more organized and more settled in the game now, the Subway Joeys. Now Aikon on the far side finds his midfielder, brings up play to the number 11, Jay Maltz. Again, Sabi, who is looking more renewed from an injury he almost picked up. Junior Albert collects, but loses again to the dangerous Akul Aikon. Skillful, marks back to Aikon, tries to find the space here, couldn't do so. Gordon Iro collects. Again, pressure from the number 16, Bryce Harrison. Solomon Islands feeling the pressure here. And Australia building up from their momentum so far with a goal at hand. And already trying to get another one here. Can they find another one? Or can Solomon Islands equalize? Questions to be answered. Australia again. Deep inside the Solomon Islands half. Max to Jay Mops. Goes back to Liam Armstrong. Back to Frizo. Good pass here. And probably a foul here. The referee hesitated, but then decides otherwise. Australia again picking up pace here. The Subway Joeys. That's the danger man here, Martina. Oh, he's going very sulk. And finds Alex Bolton. Bolton back to Mott. Finds Faisal to Kasabi. All the way on the other side, changing direction. Anthony, not a good touch from him. Again, he wins the ball. A workaholic here. Football workaholic. Always working hard and trying to get into the spaces. Again, he finds J. Mott. Back to Anthony. Now Solomon Islands through Jimson Abana. Tries to go past one. Tussles for the ball. Not a good one. And Australia again capitalize on it. But the referee decides it's a foul. Timothy knew of the Solomon Islands as well. He decides that's a foul against the number 7, Bessa Zopoa. And probably the first time we've seen a foul against Australia in their own half. So again, rather it's the second time in the same spot. Can they capitalize on this opportunity here? And speaking of opportunity, they decided to bring 4 players into the 18-yard box. Already Gordon Iro goes for the long one here. Australia capitalizing the defense here. They got the ball back. Junior Albert for Solomon Islands. Solomon Islands trying to find the passes through in between. Now Lionel probably awakened now. Beats one. Couldn't go past the player and brings it out. Still play on. An awkward situation here, but he still managed to hustle for the ball and loses it back to Australia. Australia on the pressure again. Now Anthony here. Akon's already making the move. Good. Could have done with a good ball here, Jufa, on that occasion.
Yes, you can see what Luca wants to do there. He saw the run of Akon, and probably the weight of the pass wasn't the best, but you can see the body language. They're very positive when we go forward, the Joeys, and that is something that probably will be the difference at the moment between the Joeys and the Solomon Islands.
Well, this match, as we've mentioned earlier on, is made possible through PacificAus Sports Football Australia and the Solomon Islands Football Federation. So the local supporters have been longing for a football match, and right now we're experiencing one. And what a night for many of these young supporters here, Jufa, to come out and watch such a magnitude of a game. Especially, oh well, there's another opportunity here. Akon beats one in the 18-yard box, going for a cross here. Probably should have taken a shot here, Jufa.
Yeah, no, exactly. That was a great move there. I think the back four kind of stopped. But again, yeah, unselfish play. He wants to cut it across for Luca. But again, yeah, I think, again, for the kids that are watching, you can't stop when the ball goes over until the referee or you hear the whistle. It's a very good example there as well.
So you always have to be focused in the game, concentrated. And well, Australia now showing a lot of that concentration. Solomon Islands trying to capitalize on opportunities, but then again, it's more about the way you structure a game. Well, Solomon Islands now on the counter-attack through Laena. Can he find Jimson here? Good ball coming in. No one's there to claim it. And the goalkeeper equally up to the task. Jay Adzanovic of Australia capitalizes. And this is the danger man now. Akon tries to go past, but couldn't do so. Decides to go again. But Junior Albert, he's everywhere, the number 6 here for Solomon Islands. Tiny player, but he knows what he does best, which is win the ball back for his team. Gordon Iro of Solomon Islands brings up play, finds Junior Albert, the number 6. Goes back to Iro. Iro over to Christopher Samo. Back to Junior Albert. Tries to find Zopoa. Couldn't do so. Oh, bad pass by Australia. Jameson Abana. Only the goalkeeper to beat. Can he finish? No, he can't. But courtesy to the goalkeeper, Jay Adzanovic. That's a good save.
Hey, by the way, that's a very good save. It's a bad play from the defender. Probably just a missed pass. But again, the keeper did well, make himself big. And yeah, for someone with Jimson's, qualities, you would expect to finish those as well as a striker.
Well, another opportunity missed, but then another chance here for Australia to capitalize. Well, Solomon Islands through their captain, Paul Francis. Goes on the far side for the fast Beza Zopoa. One player to beat. Well, the defense is catching up. He goes for the zigzag inside the 18-yard box. Checks. Decides to go for the early ball. Decides to nutmeg. Comes in the 18-yard box. But a good defense there by the number 11 for Australia, Jay Motts. And as you've mentioned earlier on, the number 7, he'll be handy. Well, he just showed some class there with some skillful movement off the ball. Will be very dangerous for Australia in terms of his pace and movement.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think for the Solomon Islands, that will be the danger. I think getting him involved as much as possible is key. But I feel probably if they can isolate him a little bit more, let him have a one-on-one situation rather than 2v1s, will be key for the Solomon Islands to get that player on a 1v1 situation.
Well, Solomon Islands again building attack from the back, but now they in the Australian half. Tries to find Laena. Probably not the communication they wanted. And so Australia again to restart play from the back through Kisabi. We're 40 minutes into the match so far. What a ball here. And they will find Martina. Again, he's one-on-one with the Solomon Islands defender. He beats one, going out to his left, going for the first time cross. Australia appealing for a handball here. Not so. Solomon Islands again. Long ball. Trying to find Jimson Abana. Couldn't do so. Australia through Max Anastasio. Over to Akon. Oh, not a good first touch by him. 7 Collex. Goes back. And Akon hustling for this ball here. Gordon Iro, very steady, very composed. Not a good ball from the captain. And he loses, but he wins it back. Good attitude from the player. You want to see a lot of players with that positive approach.
Oh,
you lose a ball, you go and get it back.
Of course, yeah. I think that's a great attitude to have, as a player. Because you know, at the moment right now, a lot of teams do counter-pressing and stuff. So as soon as you lose the ball, can you quickly go back and win the ball back? It makes it more easier for a team as well.
Martina, one play to beat, finds, and Max here going for a first-time shot. And the goalkeeper gets himself well placed in the center of the goal, Gideon Abidan. And to be honest, he would be happy with his performance so far. The goal from Anthony, that was a brilliant goal from the number 9. He couldn't do much as a goalkeeper. But then in terms of his performance so far, he's done well. The goalkeeper, Gideon Abidan for Solomon Islands, well, is now Australia in their own half. Quite composed and structured. And, well, Australia again still trying to get the ball over outside of their own half. Can they do so? Well composed there, Max. Tries to find their momentum. Faizo goes for the long to Harsh to find Martina. A little bit too hard. Harsh of a push there from the ball. Well, now we have a substitution.
Yeah, looks like a substitution is going to be made there by the Batrum Surikot side. So, number 17, Rex Philemon, is coming on for number 11, is it? Yeah, James Laena. So, probably something to do with maybe injury, because I thought James has been doing quite well for that side. So, probably a bit of you know, tactical change as well.
I've compared his performance to the recent Pacific games. He haven't performed to his peak here tonight, and probably that is due to an injury. But then it's the coach here reading the game, so a very handy player coming on as well. So we'll look to see what he brings to the table here. For now, it's Australia more composed, and now already running is the number 17, Rex Philomone. He's now with the ball here, can he go past one? Couldn't do so. He wins a throw deep inside the Australian half. The Subway Joes, they are back to defend. Solomon Islands trying to get the throw in. It's through Jimson Abana, going for the first time shot! What a save! Acrobatic. But then the goalkeeper, I have to say, Jay Ajanovic, he was very composed. Perhaps he already calculated where the ball was going. But from just the observation, the general view, it was a good opportunity there.
No, that's right. Hey, by the way, I've seen him did that in the last qualifiers, and he scored against Fiji, I think he was. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he scored that one.
Well, Solomon Islands again with a corner kick coming in. Jimson Abana! But then couldn't capitalize on the header here. He rose up to the occasion, just couldn't steer the ball well. And speaking of headers, it's not probably one of the strength of a lot of Solomon Island players in terms of general observation, but this player, perhaps we'll write his name down here, Jimson Abana. So for a lot of the Solomon Island supporters, probably this is a name to watch, Jimson Abana. But again, for Australia, building up in the middle, Alex Bolton to Faizo, tries to find Martina, couldn't do so. Oh, ball comes back, Martina tries to get himself onside, and a throw deep inside the Solomon Islands half from the Australia. And so far the local crowd has been very vocal in terms of both sides. I've mentioned earlier on, Solomon Island supporters love their football, so whether you're an opposition team or you're the home team, as long as you play good football, that's enough to get its support. Jimson Abana checks, decides to go back to find his player on the right side. Probably decision making here is not up to the task. Australia, good ball from their midfield, back in control. Jace Mort over on the far side, back to Max to Kasabi, Zaid Kasabi to Jay Mort, over to Jade Kasabi in their own half. Now on the center line, tries to dance past the number 7 for Solomon Islands. Well, Akon picks up ball, tries to play it early. The referee decides to pull the throw back. And we're approaching the second half. What do you think would be a better approach for Solomon Islands, or perhaps Australia, both sides, in the last minutes to second half?
I think for me, I think Solomon Islands, like I said before, in possession, they need to keep the ball a bit more, rather than losing it. But as we can see over here with the attack, that's going to be quite dangerous as well. Especially when they're in that half, they're always going to be dangerous for the Solomons.
What an acrobatic attempt there by Akon. And it's good to see a lot of these youth players already exercising that side of their games. And, well, it's all about technique. And the more you do it, the better you will get at mastering it. Gordon Iro, very composed. Not a good ball by him. Now it's on the counter-attack for Australia. Martina tries to go past one, couldn't do so. Collected back as Australia deep inside the Solomon Islands half. Max back to Zaid Kasabi. Finds Faizo. Tries to find Martina, managed to do so. Martina now plays number 6 here, Alex Bolton. Ah, what a strike here! Just couldn't get it to the end of the line. Now that's what you get for losing concentration. They will counter, and like you've mentioned, if the young Solomon Islands footballers are watching and wanting to know how a number 9 move, that's how you go with the ball if you're a number 9. And my, oh my, Solomon Islands again, saved by the post. While Australia deep inside their own half. They're breaking in the middle. Antony turning past 3 Solomon Island players. And there you are, the halftime whistle from the man in charge, Timothy New of Solomon Islands. So far, Solomon Islands nil, Australia nil. So far, your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, no, I think for start with the Solomons, I think for the Solomons, they have to realize that majority of the time they will have to chase the game. They have to be without possession for most of the game as well. So that is something the Solomon Islands have to realize, that we have to stay concentrated out of possession. Because for me at the moment, Australia has been dominating both in possession and probably creating chances as well. But for the Australians, I think they'll be happy going into the shed 1-0 up. And what they've been doing probably will be... I don't know if they're going to make a lot of changes in terms of how the style of play they're going to do, because so far I think it's working for them. So I don't think Coach Brad will change the style and the structure that they're going to play. Might change a few individuals, but I don't think the structure is going to change at all.
Well, too far before we go for a break, just your thoughts on the general environment here at the National Stadium.
Mate, to be honest, best ever. I think to see the atmosphere here, to be part of this occasion. It's so good to be back home as well for me, and to be part of the football community. Hey, it's so good. It's good to see people coming out, and what a beautiful night as well it turned out to be. From raining to sunny and to nice and cool tonight. So thank you to the football gods. We have been blessed.
Well, Solomon Islands nil, Australia 1. This match is made possible thanks to PacificAus Sports Football Australia and the Solomon Islands Football Federation. We'll be back with more commentary after the halftime break. And welcome back to the second half of this match. Solomon Islands 0, Australia 1. Now, well, obviously the game that consisted of attack, defending, and skill. Well, Solomon Islands now in the 18-yard box. Going for a shot here. Good save here by the Australian goalkeeper. Equally up to the task, Joe Zanovic. And now that's the danger man in the first half. Akul Aiken tries to find Max here. Couldn't do so. Well, Solomon Islands again. What a start from Solomon Islands, Jufa.
No, exactly. Great start, and that's what you want. You know, coming from the start, from the break, it's good to start on a positive. And I think for Solomon Islands, that is a mental thing as well. That would probably, you know, go into their head and go, hey, we can pick on from here as well. So that's a great start for the Solomon Islands.
Well, for those of you just tuning in around Solomon Islands in Australia and perhaps around the Pacific region as well, this match is made possible thanks to PacificAus Sports Football Australia and the Solomon Islands Football Federation. Well, to crimp things into perspective, I have with me in the commentary booth the football icon here in the Solomon Islands, Henry Farodo Jr., someone who has graced football in both international and domestic, a rich football career playing in New Zealand, Australia. So the right man to have his thoughts on the game. Thank you, Jufa, for joining me in the commentary booth.
It's my pleasure, Alex. It's a good opportunity for me as well to come and witness the youths taking centre stage.
Well, Australia now with the ball. Well, Solomon Islands danger man here, the number 7. Brings the ball in the 18-yard box. Can he go deal with the pass? Yeah! Blocked again. Good defense by Australia in a time that needed their defensive skill to come. And they show it. Well, good touches here by Akon. Here, intercept well by Solomon Islands. In the middle, attacking third. They look to counter. Not a good ball here by the number 16, who has been substituted in Clive Sam. Australia through their number 11, Jay Motts. Brings it back to Faizo all the way on the other side. It's a foul against Solomon Islands. They need to be careful. They have probably more of the free kicks against them in the second, well, rather in the first half. Australia again, deep inside Solomon Islands half. Akon tried to deliver the 1-2 touch here with his playmate. Couldn't do so. It's Zaid Kasabi. Tries to find Max. Well, not Max on this occasion. He tries to find Alex Bolton, who decides to go for the first loop with the ball over to his far side. It's Daniel Martina. Solomon Islands with a long ball from the goalkeeper, Gideon Abidan. And Australia picking the ball in the centre circle. It's Max. Back to Faizo. Kasumovic brings the ball up. Jameson Abana challenges for the ball. A little bit too physical here. Australia decides to go for the quick ball here. The referee decides to let it run. No, he decides to call it back. And just to put things into perspective, this is the Australian under-17 team, the Subway Joeys. And this is the Solomon Islands under-19 team. So both youth teams, under-20s, full of excitement in this match with skill and some of high technical abilities from both youth team. And a free kick for Australia too far. That's a danger area to concede a free kick.
Yeah, again, like we spoke at the first half, yeah. I think in all aspects of the game, set pieces, 4 is good for a team to have set pieces. Against, it's going to be a tough one, especially with Australia. You know, I mean, I'm sure they have something in their pocket for you know, to pull out as well. So Solomon Islands have to be very careful giving away cheap free kicks and fouls and stuff, especially in and around the 18-yard box.
Well, Australia now have another chance at probably extending their lead here. And a ball coming in, the 18-yard box, sailing over all of them, and there will be a corner kick here for Australia. And Solomon Islands have numbers. None of them decide to go up for the ball here, Jufa. That could be very pivotal in another opportunity. There could be someone from Australia taking that opportunity.
Exactly. You know, I think in those situations, you know, you have to attack the ball. You know, as a defender, you have to, you know, compete. For me, competing is very important as well.
A quick corner here by Australia. Now they are deep inside the Solomon Islands half. Building up play, more organized. Not a good pass. Solomon Islands now got number here. Can they counter attack? Can they do so? A ball cleared here by the number 7. Probably thought he was making a through ball here. Didn't end up the way he anticipated. Now Australia. Good flick here by Anthony. Just gracing the game with a little bit of skill. Now it's Solomon Islands. Number 7, Besa Zopoa. Turns beat 1. Finds the captain. Captain brings it back. Tries to play Zopoa. He goes in the 18-yard box. Tries to challenge for the ball. Australia's number 11 here. Equally up to the task. And he stayed. Oh, Solomon Islands through for the captain. 18-yard box. Pass it over. And a good defend there by Australia. Again, Jimson Abana going for that acrobatic turn again. Probably not on this time. But good attack here from Solomon Islands too far.
Yeah, I think, I think Australia are doing a bit of what Solomon's been doing at the first half, giving away cheap possession in their own defensive third. And yeah, for the Solomon Islands, that's the key. And I think I feel they should press a bit more, Solomon Islanders, and just test them out. They haven't tested them again. See? So here we go again.
It's not a good final pass here, but you can tell they are doing everything they can. Finds just Billy Sheraway shot here. Too high. The crowd are loving it so far. But take no effort away from the reliable Zaid Kasabi and Faizo Kasumovic, the player for Adelaide United youth team and the player for Melbourne Victory youth team. They are the ones to get credit so far. They've been keeping their backline steady. And, well, it's a free kick here for Solomon Islands. Been called back. So this could be an opportunity perhaps to test the Australian defense more. What would be an ideal option here, Jufar?
Oh, I think for me, I think they know what they're doing. The Solomon Islands, I'm sure they practiced this in the last couple of days. By the looks of it, it looks like, the captain, Francis, is on the ball.
Well, this could be moments that changes carriers. He's going for the first time shot. Good block here by the Australian defender. Oh, ball still in the box here. And Junior Albert tussles for the ball here. Now Australia through Anthony. Oh, good 10 there by him. Fancy footwork. Showing his pace here. Daniel Martina, who has been instrumental in the first half, tries to go past one. Couldn't do so. Solomon Islands, big player, 2 players in between. Captain passes back to Junior Albert. Plays it in the space here. Still, they will get the ball here. Solomon Islands. Zoe Zapo. Oh, still keeping the ball here. A throw for Solomon Islands in their own half. Equally up to the task. The Solomon Islands look more of a positive approaching team. Probably a change of approach here in the halftime by the coach, Batram Suri. Solomon Islands again, build up play from the back. Gordon Iro. Again, missed passes by the Solomon Islands team. They win the ball back. As long as they can keep the Australians in pressure. Here they come again. Paul Francis turns, checks, going for a shot here. Sailing over. Much to the disappointment perhaps from the local supporters. Jufar, what's your thoughts so far? Solomon Islands.
For me, it's a positive for Solomons. It's a great stuff for Solomons. Like from the start, they've been pressing, and I think that's why I want to see a bit more from the Solomon Islands. Can we press them a bit more high, especially out of possession? Win those balls. It's so easy for them to go forward as well. So I would hope that they will keep pressing on that half as well.
Now Australia again. The number 9, Anthony, chopping deep here. Collecting the ball here. And he's been very instrumental. But again, Solomon Islands through the instrumental Beza Zopoa. Brings up play. Australian trading back. Checks. Going for the first time shot. Deflected off the defender. He fights back for it. Australia again. Composed. Jimson Abana turns. Tries to find Junior Albert. Couldn't do so. Zopoa again. Goes past one. Outside the 18-yard box. There's not much movement from the Solomon side. Junior Albert checks. He's going to drive his shot. And shot here! Close, but not quite.
Hey, that's a much positive. Like I said, I think for the last 5 minutes, I think it's all Solomon Islands at the moment. And I think that's the momentum that they need to go. They need to start believing in them as well. I think it's a bit of belief that they need to have now. And then, yeah, you know, keep him in this half. Press him, you know, with numbers as well, you know. So I think that's the key for the Solomons. Let's see, here we go again.
Solomon against through Jimson. Abana checks. Going for the first time shot. Good save. Brilliant save by Jay Adanovic, the Central Coast youth goalkeeper, showing his class. And he's picking up the ball and putting the symbols to his playmates that we need to stay focused here. Solomon Islands are pressing us, and he's rightful to do that. Again, Solomon Islands again, counter. Australia needs to get back to their game. Probably caught off guard here with the change of attitude by the Solomon Islands team. But approaching here is Australia again. Solomon Islands collecting the ball. Ball comes out. Oh, not a good player here for Solomon Islands to have the ball is the Australian. Number 23 tries to pick his pass. And the defender, the number 5, Jason Kofela, decides, nah, I'm not leaving it to the goalkeeper. I'm taking it to safety. But Australia, we speak of Solomon Islands and their counter-attack, but Australia is very good in terms of transition.
Of course, yeah. I think like a good example is the first goal that they scored. In the transition from defending to attacking, Australia's quite dangerous in that as well. So again, you know, it's the mental focus, the mental shift from attacking to defending is going to be key for Solomons.
Now Australia again, moving ball faster. Max here. Oh, Jimson Abana here. He turns and probably didn't see the approaching Jay Maltz. Well, Australia now transition. They are now attacking. Bryce Harrison all the way to. Still, oh, Anthony with a good touch here. Not a good pass at the end of the day. Zappo trying to beat one player. Couldn't do so. Jimson Abana plays it back to Paul Francis, the captain. Brings it up. It's now they're trying to find the number 7. Probably just too much weight on that ball. And the coach for Solomon Islands encouraging his number 7, Beza Zopoa. Where the 57th minute of the game. And so far, what an action-packed second half compared to the first half. These teams, both teams, are putting themselves to the limit. And it's good to see such test of strength in terms of attack, but also in their defense. Australia capitalizing on the goalkeeper, just providing that open space to do their transition and moving the ball from one end to the other. Solomon Islands again. With position, still in their own half. And now Australia through Anthony Dell. Is he going for the first time? No, he checks. Decides to play back to his midfielder, Martina. Can he do something here? He checks. Tries to beat one player. Couldn't do so. Again, Solomon Islands putting pressure on him. 2 players. And can they win the ball here? They're trying to win it, but Martina steady. The number 19 for Australia, who has been excellent in the first half. Now Solomon Islands on the counter-attack. The captain, he has 4 players against 3 Australian defender. Brings up play in the 18-yard box. Going for the first time! Oh, good save. It's a brilliant defending there by Faizo Kasamovic of Australia. If it weren't for that touch too far, that could be a goal for either Jimson or the advancing Junior Albert.
Yeah, no, that's a great touch from Faizo. I think as a defender, great touch. It's always hard running backwards, you know, running back facing your own goal with those kind of crosses that come in with pace and stuff. So it's a great job from the big centre back.
Well, obviously, speaking of that ball, I used to see a lot of the ball coming from you back in your days. You like to curl the ball, and obviously, speaking from experience, that's what you get. It's very dangerous, and as a defender, you don't want to be caught off guard with those type of balls, Jufa.
No, exactly. You know, if you have, you know, whipping in those balls with pace, all you need is a touch, whether it's from the attacker or the defender.
And now Australia through Akon, one-on-one on the goalkeeper, checks. Solomon Islands trying to defend well, plays it out to Anthony. He going back to his left, perhaps. No, he decides to go back. He calls for a handball. No, not given by the referee. Junior Albert turns, past 2 players, back again. The captain for Solomon Islands trying to get the ball here. No, and it's Akon again for Australia. Max for Australia, breaking through the advancing defense line of Solomon Islands. Junior Albert collects. Back to Gordon Iro, who comes far from his usual department. And Jimson Albert, to, oh, not a good ball by the captain here. exciting football so far. Both teams exchanging attacks. And Australia again losing the ball here to Solomon Islands. Inside their own half, it's the number 17, Rex Filome. Beats one player, trying to go for the first time. Australia again defending well here in the center of the park. Solomon Islands again through Junior Albert. Trying to intercept, but he felt he was pulled back and he retaliated. Quite clear here. Referee needs to get a hold of the game. But apart from that, it has been both 50-50 of the game. Australia, Solomon Islands, both equally.
Mate, I think second half started off really strong. Both teams, are not scared, I would say. Both teams are not scared attacking each other. So Solomon Islands have been pressing a lot higher. And then Australia as well, in that transition. So at the moment, it's just end-to-end stuff. It's good to see as well. So I hope that this keeps going on as well and see how it pans out.
Well, from the bench here, you can see there's a couple of changes to be introduced by the Australian side in terms of overall the whole main idea of the game is to have them prepared as well for an upcoming competition.
That's correct. Yeah, I think for the Joeys, I think this is part of the preparation for the AFC qualifiers. So yeah, and I think listening to Brad Maloney the other day, he was talking about testing out some new players as well from the last one that they went over in a tournament that they played. So there's a few new players coming in, and again for the coaching staff, I think this is it's a wonderful opportunity for them to have a look at other players as well.
And also on the sideline, it's one of the hard-working players, Daniel Martina. He's a youth player in Melbourne City, and he has been extraordinary in the first half, playing on the left side for Australia in advance, as well as the number 6, Alex Bolton, who plays for Pit Glory Academy. So very experienced players in terms of their age category. In Solomon Islands, if you look at the teams, most of them are locally based. And this is definitely an exposure they will take back with them and probably will build them to the next level as well.
Oh, of course, I agree. It's always good to play against, quality oppositions. I think playing against quality oppositions is one of the most important things as well, So for us, I think result wouldn't really matter, but it's, picking out what we can get from these games is key as well for us as well.
Now, Solomon Islands with a set piece here, deep inside their own half, decides to go to Gordon Iro, who decides to play it out wide to the number 3, Teddy Osifela. And a corner kick here for Solomon Islands. Another opportunity perhaps to try and get back on the score sheet. Australia. And perhaps add one to it. The captain here, Paul Francis, setting up play. Good delivery from him. Coming in, nobody there actually. And again, free hitter for the number 5, Jason Kofela, taking back by the Australian side. The goalkeeper going for a long one here. Solomon Islands again cleared it back. Ball is in the center park here. Australia through their number 11, Jay Maltz, back to Faizo. Rather, it's not Faizo, it's Zaid Kasabi. And this is Faizo here. Tries to go to their number 13, Logan Sambrock. Sambrock tries to find the newly introduced Isaiah Boston. Isaiah Boston quite fresh here. Goes back in, not a good ball from Max here. Now Solomon Islands on the counter-attack. Zopoa beats Max. Drives the ball, checks, decides to go back. And he turns, he decides, no, I'm going to go have a run here. And he wins a throw just inside his own half. Limping a little bit. Well, he's probably picked up an injury here. Currently, Jufar, I'm looking for which team is going to settle down, because they have been on fire since the whistle. It's good to see probably which team will take the approach to settle the game and probably approach it in a more settled manner. So looking at both teams, your views and perspective on the game so far.
Yeah, I think there's a key thing that you mentioned there. Can we settle down a bit? Yeah, because at the moment I feel everything's going at 100 miles an hour. I think for the Solomons, it's because of the start that they started really well. They don't want to stop the momentum. I think for Australia, would be the team that would want to settle first. Okay, I think especially with the style of play in terms of keeping possession, I think they would probably try to settle the game a bit more. And also, being 1-0 up, that's an advantage you can have as well. You can use that in your advantage.
Well, for the Solomon Islands, that's an instrumental player taken out to injury, Bessa Zopoa. Hopefully it's just not serious enough. But then they have to bank on their upcoming players from the bench. We have the number 15, number 22, and 13 all ready to be introduced. So Solomon Islands are not lacking in terms of attacking power. The Australian side know very well that this is one of the threats for them. He's played on the side, the number 7, Bessa Zopoa. He's now out, so whoever replaces him needs to step up to that space or gap that he's been occupying. Jimson Abana. And call back for a foul against Zaid Kasabi. I've mentioned in the first half that Kasabi has a job of keeping Jimson Abana at bay. Well, he's been doing quite well, but then also Jimson Abana is a physical player, always looking to attack. Junior Albert tries to find the freshman here, number 22, Abraham Morgan. He wins the ball in the 18-yard box. Morgan tries to check. Oh! And an opportunity went begging for Solomon Islands. And you can tell by the reaction here, he knew the captain, number 10. Speaking of opportunities, Jufar, you need to capitalize on opportunities.
Definitely, Alex. I think it's important that when you have opportunities, especially for Solomon Islands playing against a team like Australia, you don't get much opportunities like that. And I think it's important that you have to capitalize on that.
Again, Junior Albert, the heart of all the balls here. He's a Kurkuru player. He plays for the national futsal team. And now he plays in the associative football court. So a player with so much potential. And Australia know now that they have a man to mark here, the number 6 for Solomon Islands. Not the tallest player on the pack, but the most effective one so far. Solomon Islands with the corner kick here. Defending well is the Australian defenders. But again, picked up again, Solomon Islands to Gordon Iro. Sets himself up for it. Tried to find the player approaching in the 18-yard box. Solomon Islands again. Counter-attack. And safely taken by Jay Ajanovic, the goalkeeper for Central Coast Academy side. Very confident and definitely showing why he's the starting goalkeeper. Jay Ajanovic. Faisal tries to find the pocket here, managed to do so. It's one of the new players introduced here. He brings up plays, tries to fly Anthony, couldn't do so. Solomon Islands again. Counter-attack, probably not their best. And Australia standing up. Well, it's a foul against the Solomon Islands. And rightfully so. Taken out there was the number 5 for Australia, Marco Santangelo. And can Australia get another goal here? Probably to dampen the spirits of the Solomon Islands. With another goal here. Kasabi over to Bryce Harrison. Boston. Solomon Islands pick up play. Throw deep inside their own half. So we see the introduction of Lamopio Ninamo, who has featured in most of the games in the qualifiers, and also Bismarck Sisiki is also being introduced. So some fresh legs here for the Solomon Islands, and also for Australia as well. And we've been talking about who's going to settle the game. At the moment, it looks like the Subway Joeys are taking that into consideration. Anthony tries to go past one. Gordon Iro equally up to the ball. He gets it back to the captain. Francis Jr. turns through two players in the process. Tries to find the number 22 who's been introduced. Couldn't go past the approaching defender for Australia. And again, capitalizing on it. Solomon Islands to the number 13, Ninamo. Junior Albert. Over to the number 16, who's always available in the midfield. He adds another dimension to Solomon Islands game. But Australia again, Anthony, he's been involved in almost all the attacking moves here, the number 9, and we've been talking about him a lot in the first half, Anthony, and he's been doing that very well. Oh, good tackle here by the Solomon Islands. Paul Francis checks, goes back on the far side. Jimson Abana approaching. Zaid Kasabi putting the chase on. Jimson Abana decides to go on a physical run with him. It's a corner kick for Solomon Islands. Good approach so far, Jufar.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think it's very positive, you know, from Jimson. I think for me, he was more involved second half than first half. You know, he comes short, receives the ball short, lays it off, and that's the thing. For him, I think that is exactly what Didi Luca does for Australia as well. He comes deeper, and then he creates that space in behind for the two number 8s or the 2 attacking midfielders to go in behind. So if he can do that a bit more, Jimson, that'll be key as well.
Solomon Islands with the corner here. Australia defending well. A shot coming in! What a goal! And what a time to score, especially coming as a substitution. Number 22, Denson Penilaurea. My oh my, Solomon Islands fans are up on their feet. That's what you call a good comeback, isn't it, Jufa?
That's a great comeback. That is a great comeback. You know, after all the hard work and after all the, you know, what they're trying to do, I think, yeah, for me, if you ask me which team are likely to score in that second half, in the last, 10-20 minutes, I think Solomon Islands deserve to score there. They've been pushing, they've been pressing, much better than the first half, and yeah, I reckon they deserve the goal.
Well, what a standing ovation from the local supporters here. They loved it. The players themselves loved it, and what a feeling for the player who scored it so far, especially.
Nah, exactly, you know, and scoring in front of your home crowd as well, you know, I mean, there's nothing better than scoring in front of your home crowd, and yeah, so a very positive start for Solomon Islands, and now we'll see. It's open game, I'm feeling, you know, we'll see how they go now.
Australia 1, wherever you're tuning in, either in the Solomon Islands, in Australia, and around the Pacific region, or perhaps over in the other region, Asia or Europe. Well, we are in for an intriguing match here between Australian Subway Joeys and the Solomon Islands under-19 as Solomon Islands again counter-attack. Paul Francis finds Jimmy Abana, but again, good goalkeeping here. It's a offside, rather. The Solomon Islands are feeling the momentum here, Junior.
Yeah, exactly. I think, you know, after scoring a goal like that, you know, definitely the momentum is with Solomon Islands. They are so positive now, you know, full of confidence, and that is key as well. And I think the confidence is building in this Solomon group as well.
Perhaps Australia needs to get one goal here to settle momentum back. Solomon Islands again, counter-attack. Well, the newly introduced Logan Sambra, instrumental. He's now have his turn to perform here. Australia keeping or sticking to their 2 centre-backs. Junior Albert trying to get the ball here. Probably not a good option here in terms of the height and how dangerous that play could be.
Yeah, I think it was pretty much like a beach soccer sort of you know, action there. But yeah, it's quite you know, as soon as you put your feet up in this 11 football code, yeah, you're definitely going to be penalised for that.
Well, Australia again in the Solomon Islands half, trying to get the rhythm of the game. And Jimson Abana's going to steal this one. Oh, wow, what a good defender by the reliable Faisal. And he knows really well what he has done. Otherwise, that could be another goal for Solomon Islands. Australia again, Bryce Williams finds the number 11, J. Maltz. Again, he collects it, tries to put it back into the space here. And Australia can try and see if they can go through Chris Irakoze. Good player. So no ball, no player to pick up the ball here for Australia. Again, physical confrontation between 2 sides. Solomon Islands as captain turns. Good ball here from Australia on the counter-attack. Boston here goes back to find J. Maltz. Over to Bryce Harrison. Measures the ball well, tries to send it past. Again in the front of the 18-net box. Not a good ball here from the number 13 for Australia, Logan Sambrock. Australia is now knocking on Solomon's door, asking questions, and Solomon Islands need to have superb answers to this. In the center circle, Zaid Kasabi, Boston. Back to Harrison. Finds Williams. Over to Maltz. We're approaching we are at the 75th minute of the game, and this is where the nerves come into play. Nina Moore clears and also tries to get the ball back. It's a throw deep inside the Solomon Islands half. 76 minutes into the game, a game that proved to be very exciting and entertaining. Good 10 by Junior Albert. The crowd is loving his approach here. And Zaid Kasabi goes out to Irakosi. Tries to go for the high one here. Tries to find Boston. Boston backing up. Collects the ball well. Ninamo pins him down. Boston go past Ninamo. Go past two. Decides to go back to Harrison. Harrison with the delivery inside the 18-yard box. And Solomon Islands defending quite well here in terms of height. They do not have the height compared to Australia, but they have done well. And now Kasabi back to Fayos. Brilliant combination, these two here for Australia. Irakosi, 2 Maltz, checks, turns, goes back on the far side. Now Solomon Islands miss. Place here, Australia with a chance here to counter. Haven't quite gone to their mark. Maltz with a long shot here, sailing over the bar. And that's what you expect from Australia, to have a shot from such distance. What do you say about that, Junior?
No, exactly. I think with that kind of player, you know, he knows as soon as he receives the ball, he got time and space. And with quality players, you can't give them that. You can't give them time and space, and that's what happened. Just a bit unfortunate. The shot just keeps rising as it goes. But again, Solomon has to be careful in terms of that.
Well, in the local time, it's 7:45 p.m. and the outside of the stadium is packed. There's a lot of movements of people, some even finding a little bit of a comfortable zone somewhere just to be able to see the match here. So, good ball here. It's a race between Kasabi and Abana. Abana looks like he's going to win this one. Plays it back. And a goal here for Solomon Islands. And the one and only, the captain, the reliable number 10, Paul Francis, converts.
That is a great goal. Great work again. I think, like I said at the start, Jimson, second half, has been very good. He's a totally different player from the first half. He got a bit more involved. He gets behind the runners quite a lot as well. And I think all credit goes to Jimson for making that run. And that's the same run that we talked about, what Didi Luca did at first half. That run in behind the centre backs. And that is key. And also, one thing I was pretty happy about as well is when he does those runs, those deep lying midfielders, they don't stop. They follow as well. And the cut back, who else was there? One of the midfielders. So the more the Solomons do this, the better they have a chance to score as well.
So the halves belong to the number 9s of both teams. The first half, it was Anthony for Australia. Now the second half, it looks more in favour of the number 9, Jameson Abana from Solomon Islands, and he's been living up to it. Well, Solomon Islands know that they have the lead here now, but can they keep it? Because Australia, they are very good in terms of transition, as we mentioned. And speaking of transition, they are already in attack. Maltz goes back to Faisal. Maltz finds Harrison to the number 7, Williams. Back to the reliable Faisal. And Irokovi tried to win the ball. Gordon Iro equally up to the task. Solomon Islands leading 2-1. And this match is made possible through the partnership of PacificAus Sports and Football Australia and the Solomon Islands Football Federation. And another attacking opportunity there for Solomon Islands. Well, rather Australia. Good goalkeeping, good defending there. And it's the goalkeeper now to take the free kick. And Australia, as you can see, well structured. And now, speaking of the two centre backs, Faizo and Kasabi, they've played through a very attacking game in the first half. Perhaps try starting to feel the humidity here. And Abana always looking for that opportunity to press. Australia again deep inside their own half. Ninamo tries to tussle with. Oh, here comes Solomon Islands again. Kasabi making a mistake here. Abana tries to turn. He's still going. It's Solomon Islands, number 90, going for a shot here. Deflected off. And I've mentioned early on the two centre backs, Faizo and Kasabi. Now you see Faizo limping. Probably would be good to introduce another fresh leg here, because they felt the pressure so far. They've been the ones running a lot in terms of defending.
Yeah, I would agree, especially the second half. Like we asked, like we said before, if Solomon can press them and test them, which they haven't at the first half, you can tell, that they're struggling at a bit now. One, maybe with the conditions as well, and yeah, probably they will have to test them now.
Solomon Islands again with another opportunity, but then Australia takes it back. For a few minutes there was chance of go solo goal, the famous go solo goal. And a good turn here by the number 20, Sam Stanway. 3 Solomon Island players against him. He's probably the same height as majority of the Solomon Islands players. The number 20 here, Sam Stanway. Back to Maltz. Over to Kasabi. Zaid here. Back to Zaid. It's Zaid and Zaid combination here. And over to Faizo, who just felt a little niggle in his ankle. Australia building up play on the halfway line. Harrison to Williams, back to Kasabe. Slowing down the game, trying to kill the Solomon Islands momentum here, which is a smart move as well. But one mistake here, and he's feeling the fatigue here now.
I think he is cramping up.
He's cramping up. Probably advisable to just sit down on the floor here. Solomon Islands trying to capitalize on the momentum here. They know very well one of the players is down. And here they go again. Boston for Australia. The number 16 here, Harrison, finds Stanway. Tries to turn, tries to go past 2, couldn't do so. The assistant referee decides it's a throw for Australia rather than the main referee. Australia deep inside the Solomon Islands half. And speaking of the two defenders, that's both of them needing attention, well, especially Faizo Kasumovic.
Yes, no, that's right. I think he's been doing a lot of running, especially that second half. And again, yeah, it's coming off again from Jimson with a lot of those direct runs and stuff. And I feel like on his side as well, he's been covering a lot of distance as well. So, I wouldn't be surprised, him coming off and have a breather now.
And in terms of the general performance, this is the Australia Subway Joe is the under-17 team, and the Solomon Islands is the under-19 team. So we've expected the Solomon Islands to have perhaps a little bit of energy over the Australian side, especially they are the home side, so they are used to this temperature. For the Australian side, it's a first match. I would anticipate they would have a lot of improvements coming into the second game, and so far, judging from the way they played, I think they have a lot of improvements to go through, and they have the players to. So it's going to be interesting the second leg. But can Solomon Islands hold on to this lead? Opportunity, they can punish you.
Oh, of course, I would agree. I think yeah. I can see a little bit here as well in possession, out of possession. The Solomon Islands kind of drop a bit deeper now, and probably that's what Coach Bartram wants to do, more of a mid block, and just keep him in front of him as much as possible, and just go on a counter attack on the transition.
Well, Australia through their number 16, Harrison, to take the throw inside the Solomon Islands half. Goes for the long one here. The number 13, Logan Sambrock, lets it back to Zaid Kasabi, still playing. And over on the other side, the Australian Subway Joeys decide to go back again to Maltz. turns the Solomon Islands captain, Kasabi. Jimson Abana approaching. Probably almost running out of steam. Well, we have to find out. Jimson Abana, a name to remember for Solomon Islands here. Not usually you have big, tall players like Jimson Abana, but he's one of a kind. And Australia again. Good turn here by Sam Brock. Now they build up play. Solomon Islands need to... Oh! Bad turn here by Iro. Trying to go past one. Probably not the right direction to go by Stanway. Boston again. Solomon Islands try to capitalize on the counter-attack here. We are approaching the 87th minute. We're on 86th minute now, and so far the Australian side trying to dictate the game here, but then every ball that they lose, Solomon Islands is always on the front gear, and this could be one of their weaknesses so far, letting Solomon Islands to breathe and to move around. If they had closed them up like first half, Jufa, they would have been more commanding in this game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think like here again, making errors like that against the Solomon Islands team that are, at the moment for me, are heads up. They have their tails high at the moment, and you can't really give them, balls cheaply as well.
And again, good combination from the Solomon Islands players. Keeping the ball here. The captain, Paul Francis, couldn't keep the ball in play. And you can see an animated Batram Suri saying, we need to get the ball up. So, obviously, that tells you that he's always focused at his players, trying to maximizing all of their opportunities and attacking. Jameson Abana, again, Kasabi. Abana still chasing. Back to the number 2, Charlie Parkin. Australia again builds up through Idakovic. Missed pass here by the Australian side, and also a missed pass from Solomon Island side. Probably you start to see players getting a little bit of feeling of tiredness coming through here. That is expected as we're playing 90 minutes of football. And so these are youth players. They're getting into this game. Australia again. Going for the long one here is Mort. Trying to find an approaching. And again, Stanway always there, always putting pressure. Long ball here from Dessen. I think the goal scorer. Solomon Islands now. With the ball inside the Australian half. A throw to come for them. And local supporters enjoying the game so far. The weather has turned out to be a blessing. And like Jufa mentioned, the god of footballs, the football gods have been kind. Jameson Abana tries to go past one. Probably should have passed the ball out to one of his players. And Jufa, that comes down to decision making.
Of course, yeah. Especially at this moment of the game as well, when you're fatigued and stuff. I think decision making is going to be a bit slow. But that's where the good players are different from the average ones. But again, yeah, like you said, their decision making kind of creeps in now. The better the decision is, the better the play is going to be as well.
Well, if you're tuning in to this live match, live stream here, all the way from Solomon Islands, we're enjoying the game so far. Local time here, it's 5 minutes to 8 p.m. And obviously, the shops are closed already, except for one of the local supermarket here. And I can tell you the supermarket is empty because a lot of the people are here tonight watching the game. And what a night to watch football and to spend it with one of Solomon Islands' iconic, Pacific's, one of Pacific's great role model footballer, Henry Farodo Jr., or like I like to call him, Jufa. It's a privilege to be here, and so far we're enjoying this game so far.
Oh, definitely, Alex. I think this game has lived up to it. I was looking forward to it, leading up to the games and stuff. I was excited. I want to see, it's been a while. We haven't seen, a quality international game and stuff. So yeah, so to be here, sitting here and watching this game, mate, I really enjoy this. Wonderful, environment, the opportunity here to be here as well. And yeah, perfect weather for it, outdoors. And yeah, what better way to spend the night, mate.
And as we mentioned earlier on as well, Solomon Islands, we missed the feeling of watching a game in the night, especially when we haven't had the opportunity or the facilities to cater for matches in the night. And tonight is just awesome. The feeling, the atmosphere is brilliant. And this would motivate a lot of the young players, the young football fans to love football more. And now Australia with their starting long ball to Boston. And the far side here, Ninamo equally up to the defensive duties here. Well, Boston beats one, not going to go against Gordon Iro. And Solomon Islands again need to be on their toes here. And this is one of the players I've mentioned earlier before the start, the J-Roll Party, another Solomon Islands national futsal player. And we'll see what he adds to the game. Not the tallest player he could have on the pitch, but definitely he has his potential. And can he shine in this match? Australia with a corner kick. Coming in. No, it's an attempt here. Probably not a clean one here. And they're calling for another corner. And in these such moments, that's when you need to be switched on as a player too far.
Definitely, you know, like I said, the 80th minute, 90th minute, you know, mentally you are fatigued, mentally concentration has to be key here, you know, especially at set pieces. So for Solomon Islands, they have to be competing at the moment.
Australia again with another opportunity to probably level the scores. Decides to go out. Kasabi, Boston here, turns. Iro putting pressure on him. Boston tries to go past one, couldn't do so. Iro wins the ball back. And the newly introduced Gerald Patti now chasing down play. Australia across the center circle. Finds Marco Santiangelo. Rather, Marco brings up play. Is, oh, good ball here coming in. Solomon Islands goalkeeper Gideon Abidan decides to take things into comfortable zone by grasping it tightly and going down. And there's another Solomon Islands player, Private Sam, who has been introduced in the second half. Goes down inside the middle park, and the referee has called for the medical team. And just slightly breeze coming in from the eastern side here makes up for the hot weather today too far.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it was brewing before, so the heat weather were coming in, and then it was pissing down rain a bit as well, and then now, wow, nice cool breeze. I really enjoyed this, and yeah, while watching football is the perfect atmosphere.
Well, today is part of the working and school day, so I would anticipate a full house on the next match this Sunday. So we'll expect to see a full house on that one, especially because it's a Sunday. Probably a lot of people will cancel their Sunday barbecue to come and watch the game, or a Sunday stroll at the beach. Solomon Islands again on the counter attack. Australia defending well. And who's this player here? He goes with the Australian player. That's a decision given to Solomon Islands. It's a corner kick here. Oh, it's the captain, the number 10, Paul Francis. And the supporters here are equal. It is a home ground to Solomon Islands, but I can tell you it's equal supporting here. A lot of Australian supporters here, and also Solomon Islands, obviously. A corner kick for Solomon Islands coming in the 18-yard box. Oh, trying to just direct the ball back into the goal. As the Solomon Islands player here couldn't do so. Now stolen again, Deshaun. Can he go for a first time? What a strike, but sails away. And another opportunity. Batram Shuri for the coach for Solomon Islands, just expressing he knows very well. He's done it on many occasions. The veteran striker. Again, Australia again through Boston. Stanway wins the ball. Capitalizing on it. It's a long ball across field. Probably not the right option here. Australia on the halfway line. Solomon Islands again. Gerald Patti, very instrumental already. Tries to find Jason. Good ball here. Probably Jason didn't read it well, but he's now with the ball. One player to beat. They're still with the ball. Turns around. The number 18. Oh, not a good ball from him. Or perhaps not a good reading of the ball from the number 19, Joas Hokulu. Gerald Patti, he knows he's a freshman, so he needs to work. Again, Solomon Islands. Gerald Patti on the far side. Tracking back is Alex Bolton. Gerald Patti tries to wiggle his way in the 18-yard box, but instead he wins a corner. Another opportunity coming here at Jufa.
Yes, no, exactly. I think the last couple of minutes I've seen the Solomon Islands, you know, pretty much parking in the Australian side at the moment. I think for the Australians, I think fatigue's kind of coming into place. Maybe as well a few individual changes as well kind of affect the system that they've gone. But again, it's all Solomon Islands at the moment.
Corner kick coming in. Flying in! Ero there, free header. Couldn't capitalize on it. And a throw for Solomon Islands deep inside the Australian half. They are capitalizing on the momentum here, the Solomon Island boys. They know very well that the Australian team is struggling to find their momentum. Well, that is the final whistle. Solomon Islands 2, Australia 1. Excitement from the Solomon bench. Exciting game. Jufa, your thoughts overall on the match?
Mate, for me, I think it's a game of two halves. First half, you see Australia were dominating. They've got 1-0 up. And then second half, I don't know what Batram Suri said to them in the dressing room, but I think it's a different Solomon Island team that came out in the second half. They pressed a bit more higher, which for me, I would like to see that happening, because the first half they didn't press him at all. And you see the back four was just so comfortable on the ball. But as you can see in the second half, they press him higher, they go forward. And then, yeah, I think Jimson, for me, second half was much better as well. So for me, I think the two centre forwards, for me, both halves were probably the standout players at the moment for me as well. But yeah, good to see this youth international football. So happy to see that. And yeah, I'm excited for the next one now as well.
Well, that's Joe Far there, one of the Solomon Islands football icon here. And good to have him here giving me feedbacks here. Well, this match is made possible thanks to PacificAus Sports Football Australia and the Solomon Islands Football Federation. The final score, Solomon Islands 2, Australia 1. Thanks for watching. From me, Alex Waimora and Henry Farodo Jr. Pleasant night to you all online, and see you guys in the next match.